Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Captain Kurt Pfister here. Hey, I just wanted to show you something that we see quite often here. We train a lot of people. We don't just train people that buy from me. In fact, we always take people in that are needing training, that maybe can't afford the $3,500, $4,500, or $5,500 they're training for a 7 to 10 day training course. You can have unlimited training for life for $1,500 if you're not one of our customers. If you're one of our customers, we don't make you pay for training. You have unlimited life for not only for you, but for your entire family. But I wanted to show you something that we have here. This is a gentleman, he bought his unit a while back, and he's had a lot of problems with it. He's only got 6 flights on it. This is the second time the motor's taken a crap. This is a Ppg Moster, one of my least favorite motors on the market. Hard to start, lots of problems. They melt pistons. If you've ever seen any of Tucker's videos where they're constantly breaking. I don't know why anybody wants them, other than the fact they're cheap for manufacturers to use this motor when they're making. So there's a big profit margin for the people that are putting this motor on other brands. I hope they make this motor better someday. In my opinion, it's an absolute piece of crap. You're constantly tweaking it, trying to get it to run. It's a gas hog, it's loud. One of the other things is a lot of people are putting these on these other frames. This is a Condor. A lot of these frames out here are this flimsy. But the thing I wanted to draw attention to today, and we see this a lot, and people talk about Fresh Breeze. Now, one thing about Fresh Breeze is everything is different. We've got different bearings. We got high-performance roller bearings, reinforced crankcases, high-energy ignition systems, triple-jointed tuned exhaust. You see in here, there's no joint except for right here by the. Actually, it's not even. Yeah, there's one right there. Nope, it's not even right there. There's no joints in this. Eventually, that'll be cracking too. But there's so many things. Prop hub stabilizers, rounded carbon fiber props instead of flat tips, reduces the noise, intake silence. There's a whole list of things on a Fresh Breeze that are not found on any other brand that you buy. And so a lot of competitors don't want you to know about Fresh Breeze. They want to be able to have that high profit margin. Believe it or not, our motor is actually priced sometimes less than other motors out there. But if you buy another brand, you're not only going to be getting less for the money, but you're also going to be paying thousands more for training. So you end up paying more, but getting half the machine. One of the things that people always say that don't want you to look at Fresh Breeze, and by the way, they're the oldest company out there in existence for a reason. Germans build quality. They build quality. They don't slack on it. They over-engineer everything so that it lasts and it works good. One of the things that they did was, instead of using a crappy diaphragm carburetor, they used a float bowl, and then to eliminate primer bulbs, diaphragm carburetors, and fuel pumps, they mount their tank at the top. Now, a lot of the competitors, they can't say anything about a Fresh because they know how dependable they are. They start on like the first or second pole, if you've seen in my other videos. But we mount our tank at the top. And so they're trying to get people to discourage and say, oh, that's not safe. The tank's mounted at the top, and that's a fire hazard, or that's a real problem. And but I always question them. I say, first of all, having the tank above the motor is not a fire hazard. If it is, then you tell every motorcyclist in America that having a tank above an engine is a fire hazard, because that's the way they all are. And if you had a leak, it would just spray out and it would be vaporized. But one of the biggest things that happens in powered paragliding is impacts, especially with foot launchers like this gentleman here. When you have a foot launch failure, sometimes people lift their legs too soon. For whatever reason, this is what happens. Honey, bring the camera in here for a second. Having the tank at the bottom does this. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not. Bring this in right over here. What did the propeller hit? Here, I'm going to put my finger in there so you can see it. And here, down here at the bottom, it's been pouring out gas. This tank is now empty. My finger is completely up inside it. Look at that. It's up inside. That's a fire hazard, because when you got this and it's hitting metal and it's hitting this, now you can have sparks. When you've got metal rubbing against metal and the props hitting metal into other metal, and you've got gasoline pouring out, the first thing that takes an impact on these lower mounted tanks when you have a prop strike is that tank that's mounted right there. Because when it impacts, everything's moving forward except the cage, and then it hits and the prop hits down there, not up at the top. And I see this a lot, but I thought this was a good time. I asked the gentleman if I could do it. I'm not beating on his machine, but this is a problem that we see. The reason he had a hard landing is because he just got off the ground, and this Ppg Moster just took a shit. It's over with. It quit on him. like that fast. A big puff of smoke came out. If you pan over there, I was flying my monster fly pod, and I saw it from above. He got off the ground, he was flying, and faster than he can get off while he was in the climb, the motor let out a big boom, and a puff of smoke came out, and I saw him swing back and dive towards the ground, and he flared it out. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt, but in my opinion, this is one of the worst motors on the market, and on all of them, I don't like lower mounted tanks. Now, you may have never seen that happen, but as an instructor, I've trained nearly 1,500 students, which is a world record, and I've seen this over and over and over with people that come in with lower mounted tanks. So it's not that it's a risk that you take. There's been a couple fires where people caught on fire and had to be put out down in Florida. Some other people had at their training camp. Literally, one guy got on fire. They just kind of doused him out and rolled him around and got him out of his harness. But he's literally, people have caught on fire from it. It's just one of the things they don't. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, and you never know. But look at that damage. Isn't that something? Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, and this is why I sell Fresh Breeze. I wish they would improve that motor. It might be a good motor someday, in my honest opinion. It's one of the worst motors on the market. But some of these YouTube celebrities, they give them free motors, and so people think that's what they should be flying. We should fly the Scout. We should fly this one. We should fly that one. The motor is garbage, in my opinion. Love to see it fixed. But thanks for joining me. I hope you learned something from that, and now you can see it firsthand. God bless.